A year in the relationship, I think that things started to change. It started to have a threatening tone yokuthi angeke uze ukhulume nami kanjalo. My name is Njabulo Msiza, born and raised in Davidson. I have 2 other siblings. I am the last born of the 3. I have a brother and a sister. All of us were raised in a very loving home with mom and dad. I was that child or introverted, or quiet, ongathandi nokudlala estradini like other kids. And then it was in high school. I think that a bit of your personality starts to come out. You're finding yourself, uzama ukuba cool, uzama ukufita in. So I think high school for me was that phase where I'm trying to understand who I am with the friends and, some naughtiness here and there. Sinongena into trouble. Ekhaya, at the same time, I was keeping on this appearance yokuba umntana right. But ngaphandle, you were getting up to certain things, experimenting with life a bit, and like I say, just trying to find myself. And it was at this particular stage of my life that I met this guy. I was doing grade 11 at the time. He was very handsome, tall, not dark, but tall, very good looking, beautiful eyes. And I thought, okay, interesting guy. A year in the relationship, I think that things started to change. When he's with his friends, he was bubbly, or when he had a bit of alcohol, he was bubbly. But he was a shy guy, and he wasn't a person who could express himself very well. And he started to then show signs of aggression towards that. He started to have a threatening tone yokuthi angeke uze ukhulume nami kanjalo. But as the relationship progresses, then it tone say but different. You will not speak to me like that. So watch it. And I still didn't read much into that. I was still happy to be in the relationship until one of the days where he had been out drinking with his friends, and then we got into an argument. I can't even remember what the argument was about. And me being myself, and that was the first time I experienced ukumshaya. He hit me. I was in shock. I had never experienced that before. Now I was in this space of someone who is a boyfriend, and I didn't know how to feel. I was confused, hurt. And me being myself, I thought, I'm leaving. I'm not gonna stand for this. Nyakala. It's all emotions at the same time. The following day, he managed to smooth talk me. Nami angazi kanjani. And he apologized, and because it was the first time, he had never done this before. and I'd never experienced intenje before. I just found myself saying, okay, because you think you love him. At that age, I thought I knew what love was. I'm sure he's never gonna do this again. Boy, was I wrong. From there, it was as if something engaphakathi kwakhe had been unleashed. It could be the smallest thing, the fact that angiphendulangi phone when he called, the fact that ngimphendule kabi, the fact that he had said on a particular day he wanted to see me and he couldn't. Ubezothola this courage umephuzile that he didn't have when he was sober. A different side came out. You know, he became more bubbly, more out there. So I guess that's where he got the courage to say, Guti, angeke ngidelele umfazi. And it was difficult to even speak about it because what do I say to my friend? But Mina, I don't know, somehow emotionally, I was invested. And it was difficult for me to just leave. He kept on apologizing. I kept on taking it. But now, even ukushaya kwakhona kuya escalator. So it's no longer that slap. It's a slap, a couple of slaps, there's a kick there somewhere. I remember there was a day where we had been walking. I think we had gone to buy food. We got into an argument, Estradine. And right there, me being such a private person and such an introvert, I didn't even know how to respond. Because I'm trying to keep it as quiet as possible. I don't want to draw any unnecessary attention to myself. I just took it until sifika la siyakhona. And there it continued as well. I knew deep down inside of me, Guti, this is not where I ought to be. But sithi uthando. Eventually I matriculated and ngahamba ngahlala Pretoria to further my studies. And wow, that is a different environment altogether because sengiphumile ekhaya manje, sengiphumile under abazali, I'm on my own. Life started to be different. And I think the moment I moved away from home, the moment ngise tertiary to further my education, I started to see myself a bit differently. I think his insecurities became worse because manje angisekho eduze naye. He hit me ngayoshayisana that coat hanger in my flat, and he had this evil laugh going on, and he said, if you don't do that, I'm going to kill you. I think his insecurities became worse because manje angisekho eduze naye. He knows ukuthi I'm in Pretoria, probably meeting guys that are better than him, but he started being controlling akude through my phone calls, wanting to hear a background ukuthi isound njani. Am I indoors when I said I was going to be indoors? And I remember one day he showed up to my place unannounced. I didn't know he was coming, and he came. And when he got to my place, he had been drinking. So an unexpected visit threw off a bit. But I guess it was his way of trying to catch me to see if there's anybody else in the picture. And yeah, we got into an argument because I did not appreciate that. He hit me, that coat hanger in my flat, and I went out on the floor. I think I was out for a couple of seconds or minutes, I'm not sure. When I came into again, He was just standing there, laughing. I was so disorientated. I could not get up. He looked so big because I was down on the floor, disorientated, and he had this evil laugh going on. He hit me around a couple of times more on the floor. So the flat door was open. The neighbors didn't hear anything, I don't know. But I then tried to go and get help next door. So because I couldn't get up, I started crawling, meeting her next door. He let me. I crawled kancane, and just before ngizofika emnyango wase next door, I could feel him pulling me nginyawo back into the flat. I had no voice. Ivoice yami bengaphumi. I couldn't scream. I couldn't say help. All I felt was helplessness. And there again, he hit me. He kicked me. And all this time, already being helpless. He did all that, and I think at some point, he wanted me to get up. It was like, get up, sukuma. And I was out. I think lapho he started to get scared because I think I was going in and out of consciousness. Ingqondo yami beyingasebenzi kahle at the time, and I think waqala ukuthuka naye. He called an ambulance. Before the ambulance ifika, he made sure ukuthi we've got the story figured out. So he said to me, you're going to tell them bophume bavini, slipped, and that's how you hit your head. And he said, if you don't do that, I'm going to kill you. For the first time that day, I believed him. The paramedics got there, and he made sure Guti he's by my side at all times, acting like the concerned boyfriend. But all the time, he just wanted to make sure Guti, uma bangibuza ama questions, I stick to the script anginikeze sona, so Guti ngiwe ngiphuma e bathroom. But I never forget the face of one of the paramedics. It's as if he was not buying the story. I remember there was a point where ubengathi uku background mangimbhekile umele kudenyana. He just was not buying it. So they took me to the hospital, bang cheka. It was a mild concussion, I guess, because bang chekile gave me something for the pain, and bang discharger later that night. And I went back into my flat with him. So I just thought, okay, uzile, athi ngimuza ukuthi uthini, and again ngalithatha uqolo, and relationship yakontinue. Ngihlele flatini one of the days, ngavuka. It was as if I had seen something scary. Inhliziyo yami was beating very fast, and there he was at the door. Ngithe mangithi, I could see the blood dripping from my face. So I started going to church regularly. They had midweek services. We would come back from school, nabangani bami, go to church. We started getting very involved. Hey, ngaqala ukwakheka ngaphakathi, and ngaba more confident. And the more ngiba confident is the less I tolerated that kind of behavior from him. Eventually, I got the courage to leave. I had spent so much time at church. I had spent so much time with my lady pastor that a lot had been soaked up in me, and ngafeel ukuthi no, ngiyaphuma la. And I picked up the phone and I called him and I said, we're done. During the day, ngithole knock. Ngiyovula umnyango. And there he was at the door. Ophethe neplastic. Inside the plastic, he had brought goodies. I let him inside. Akuna anything eklikhayo kimi ukuthi this guy dangerous. Bekangishaya before.
Baby, I'm sorry. So sorry.
And
you know I love you.
To me, it was like, oh, okay. The opportunity yami ukuthi ngimcacisele face to face ukuthi angibuyeli lapho. This is my opportunity to tell this guy ukuthi whatever dreams anazo ukuthi mina naye singaphinde sibuyelane. I thought today ngizoclarify izinto ukuthi dude angisekho lapho. Me being confident in who I was and what I wanted at the time. Yamenza wafila small. I could tell we conversation ukuthi the more athi uzama ukungiconvince ngimbekela ama-facts about what had happened. I reminded him of the incident where I could have actually hit my head and died. He became aggressive again. That side, that very thing ebengithi angibuyeli kuyo, started to show up again. He started ukungithreaten manje. He started ukungisondela. Started to say I think I'm better than him. He started to say just because sengiyafunda sengisenkonzweni, I think I'm better than him. And me being me ngathi yes, I am.
Awumameli kahle. Ngijwala kabi ngizokushaya.
Wangishaya ngempama. Ngayoshaya on that counter. Eyela ngasekitchen. My intention, I think, if ngikhumbula kahle, was actually to go towards the door. But ngagcina ngiya ekitchen. Mangiya ekitchen, he followed me. Uthe makangena ekitchen, wangishaya ngezinye impama. I landed on the floor. I could not understand ukuthi, am I back here again? I thought ngidlulile. I thought nginqobile lento, and here I am ngiceda ukushaya again. I'm on the floor. He kicked me. He was kicking me while I was on the floor, kicking me on the stomach. Uthe futhi bekasathi uzongikhahlela nasebusweni. He stopped. I'm on the floor thinking, okay, he stopped. Umile, nami, I'm trying to figure out what am I gonna do next. I'm trying to figure out ngaphuma kanjani out of the flat to get help. He turned. Emva kwakhe was a drawer where I kept my cutlery. He opened the drawer, took out a knife. So I'm sitting like this on the floor. Uthe makathi ngizokubulala. I did not feel any pain. I thought ungivesile. Ngithe mangithi I could see the blood dripping from my face. That's when it hit me ukuthi he actually stabbed me on my face. Ngaqala sengiyashake. I'm thinking, oh my God, he's really going to kill me. I could see ufrizile naye. That moment he handled your mesela. He stabbed me so hard that the knife had actually broken in two. I quickly got up. All over the kitchen. I took my phone. I dialed my friend's number, who stayed a block away from me. And I told her what had happened. And she said, I'm on my way. Now, is really conversation yam. And now, uthugile, because he has started something. And he said, I need to finish this. Like, he's now thinking, I need to finish you and kill you. But he couldn't. And I said, Umbali knows what happened and she's on her way. It's scary to realize, Guti, my life could have been cut short that day. So we left him there. We didn't even think of calling the cops. it was just about my life at that point. So we went to the hospital. Ngafika bangibona, and uma bayivula the wound, I remember seeing my friend's face. They told me that it's possible that ngingasafili anything on this side. So bang treat her. And the most interesting thing is that you protect this person, because even then I hadn't even told my family what had happened. I just told them I was mugged. We went back to my flat the following day. I was numb. I was completely numb from the whole experience. The emotional pain, ukuthuka, everything that I felt that day was more. For a while, I didn't hear from him. I remember receiving an SMS saying how sorry he was, that he didn't mean to do what he had done. Ang stalker, ang threatenisha, made threats along the way, saying Ruli Lindaba, and it was too late for me to fear him. For me, my relationship with God is what helped me to heal. It was an inside job. It was him reaching the innermost parts of my being that I think nobody else could reach. I'm grateful that I'm here today. I started working at a bank as a consultant, and even eventually worked my way up to management. I love myself enough to say I deserve better. And I think that is one of the greatest things engizifundile. Ukuzithanda kwami is one of the most important things that I learned during that period. So that's my story of grace and being one of the lucky ones that survived. I have two beautiful daughters right now, which I'm grateful for, and I'm able to love them as I should. I'm able to be there for them, and I am so purposeful about the type of women I want to mold them into one day because of my experience.